A very good morning to all my dear students. As you know very well that you have your two books. One is Beehive, another one is Moments. So today we are going to start our supplementary reader Moments first lesson The Lost Child, written by Mulk Raj Anand. We will begin with the first lesson of your Moments book, The Lost Child. What is this lesson all about? The Lost Child is the story of a small child who gets lost in a fair. He had gone with his parents to the fair, but loses them when he gets engrossed in looking at a roundabout swing. The story highlights the bond of love and affection that the child shares with his parents. Before losing them, he had been demanding different things like sweets, balloons, flowers, swings. Once he loses them, he is picked up by a stranger. The stranger tries to quieten the child by offering him all these things that he had demanded from his parents, but the child does not want them any more. Let's begin. A child goes to a fair with his parents. He is happy and excited and wants the sweets and toys displayed there. But his parents don't buy them for him. Why then does he refuse someone else? So, here you can see that a child is going to a fair with his parents. He's very happy and excited about going to the fair like any other child would be. We will begin with the first lesson of your Moments book, The Lost Child. What is this lesson all about? The Lost Child is the story of a small child who gets lost in a fair. He had gone with his parents to the fair, but loses them when he gets engrossed in looking at a roundabout swing. The story highlights the bond of love and affection that the child shares with his parents. Before losing them, he had been demanding different things like sweets, balloons, flowers, swings. Once he loses them, he is picked up by a stranger. The stranger tries to quieten the child by offering him all these things that he had demanded from his parents, but the child does not want them any more. Let's begin. A child goes to a fair with his parents. He is happy and excited and wants the sweets and toys displayed there. But his parents don't buy them for him. Why then does he refuse someone else? So, here you can see that a child is going to a fair with his parents. He's very happy and excited about going to the fair like any other child would be. Why does he refuse when someone else offers him to buy all those things that he wanted from the fair? What had happened that time? Let's start the lesson. It was the festival of spring. From the wintry shades of narrow lanes and alleys emerged a gaily clad humanity. Some walked, some rode on horses, others sat, being carried in bamboo and bullock carts. One little boy ran between his father's legs, brimming over with life and laughter. Wintry shades of narrow lanes. What does it mean? In winter season, the narrow lanes that time were full of shade. Yes. So the story is set in the spring season. As the winter season had just ended, the people have come out of their houses to have fun, to enjoy. They were very cheerful as they were very happy to go to the nearby fair. They were happy because the chilling weather had come to an end. People were going through a number of convents to the fair. Some were on their foot, some on horses, bamboo carts, bullock carts. As you can see in the picture, a small child, a little child, and his parents, father and mother. The little child was accompanied by his parents. He was very, very excited. He ran excitedly and often banged into his father's legs in excitement because his all attention was just here and there, and actually his final destination to reach the fair. "Come, child, come," called his parents as he lagged behind, fascinated by the toys in the shops that lined the way. The child was attracted to the toys which were displayed at the various stalls. As he would be left behind, his parents would call him to come with them. He hurried towards his parents, his feet obedient to their call, his eyes still lingering on the receding toys. As he came to where they had stopped to wait for him, he could not suppress the desire of his heart, even though he well knew the old cold stare of refusal in their eyes. Just underline this line. He could not suppress the desire of his heart, even though he well knew the old cold stare of refusal in their eyes. So, when he was there at the fair, he couldn't control his desire to buy a toy. He was familiar. He knew what would be the reaction of his parents. They would refuse. But still, that desire, despite the refusal, didn't go. He knew that they would stare at him, indicating denial to buy him the toy. The child knew the emotionless way in which they would stare at him. But still, he could not suppress his feelings. "I want that toy," he pleaded. The child was unable to control his desire any longer. He said that he wanted to buy the toy. His father looked at him red-eyed in his familiar tyrant's way. Tyrant, meaning a cruel and oppressive way, oppressive. So, the father's eyes grew red with anger because his parents, his father, very well know that they will not be able to buy him anything from the fair as they were poor. He looked at the child just like a cruel ruler who was trying to oppress him. But his mother, melted by the free spirit of the day, was tender and giving him her finger to hold, said, "Look, child, what is before you?" The mother became very emotional due to the cheerful mood of the child, that he was so happy and cheerful. But in order to divert his mind, she gave her finger to the child to hold and guided him to a place. She asked him to see what was in front of him. She kind of diverted his mind. It was a flowering mustard field, pale like melting gold as it swept across miles and miles even land. The child followed them in the air with his gaze till one of them would still its wings and rest, and he would try to catch it. But it would go fluttering, flapping up into the air when he had almost caught it in his hands. Then his mother gave a cautionary call. "Come, child, come. Come on to the footpath." So, when they moved a little further, there was a vast field of bright yellow colored mustard flowers. A group of dragonflies, black bees, butterflies buzzed around, and they were sucking the nectar from the flowers. The child was looking at them because they were flying in the air. When one sat somewhere, he tried to catch them, but the tiny creatures would fly away the next instant. So here we can see the innocence of a child, how his mind was diverted by his mother, but still he is happy in his surroundings. He gets diverted, but he's equally happy and cheerful. There are a lot of words, you're going to find it here in your books in this lesson, like fluttering, you'll find gaze, you'll find words where you need to find their meanings in the dictionary. If I say the word here present is teeming. Teeming out means to empty out, to pour out. Then there is also a word called abreast here. Abreast meaning side by side, facing the same way. Yes. So you need to carry a dictionary with you, underline the meaning, underline the difficult words and find out its meaning from the dictionary and just write it down just above the word or nearby the words with a pencil. When you read the lesson, it will be very easy for you to understand each and every line. Come, child, come, his parents called from the shade of a grove where they had seated themselves on the edge of a well. He ran towards them. The parents, calling him, they sat near to the well under the shady tree, and the child also joined his parents. They were little tired, so they sat down. A shower of young flowers fell upon the child as he entered the grove, and forgetting his parents, he began to gather the raining petals in his hands, but lo, he heard the cooing of doves and ran towards his parents, shouting, "The dove, the dove!" The raining petals dropped from his forgotten hands. So, as the child followed his parents, he entered the shady forested area. He was welcomed by the shower of flowers. He forgot his parents and started collecting the petals that had fallen. Just after that, he heard the cooing of doves. He was very excited to see them. He started running behind the birds. He started chasing them. And in the process, what had happened? The petals fell from his hand. What does this shows? This shows that the child got attracted towards a number of things on his way. On the other hand, on one hand, he was attracted towards the showering of petals. He started collecting the petals, and on the other hand, just after he heard the cooing of doves, his mind got diverted. He forgot what he was doing earlier, and his mind got diverted. He was attracted towards another thing.